I showed up in booze and
He's gay.
What?
See?
What are you talking about?
He's gay.
What's going on? Welcome back to the 1776 Report, the #1 YouTube channel for exposing the stupidity of the woke left. The Bud Light boycott continues to rage as it is the most successful boycott in the history of this country. Bud Light is a company that is in big trouble, but they just found an unlikely friend. They found an unsuspecting ally in a country music musician, Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks is taking the side of Anhueser Busch and Bud Light. He just released a statement calling anyone who is boycotting Bud Light an a-hole. Little does Garth Brooks know that he just flipped the middle bird to all of his fans. People who listen to country music are in large part hardworking men and women of America who believe in traditional American values. But Garth Brooks saw the dollar signs. He saw the potential partnership with Anhueser Busch, and his eyes lit up with greed. His eyes lit up with dollar signs. Garth Brooks vows to sell Bud Light at new bar, says any a-hole can leave, calling those who are boycotting Bud Light and Anhueser Busch a-holes. No, we just believe that we're going to stand up and we're going to say, no, we're not going to help you push your woke agenda. We'll buy a product that believes in our values, that shares our values, that believes that women are women. And we're not going to disrespect biological women by taking part in your sick woke agenda. Here in America, there's a definite divide emerging. Those who support Bud Light and its woke spirit and those who don't. Not too surprisingly, Garth Brooks stands firmly with Bud Light's progressive campaign, even in the face of intense backlash. Garth has made it known that his new Nashville bar, Friends in Low Places, will proudly serve the contentious brand, and you're an a-hole if you don't support that decision. The new bar is named Friends in Low Places. That is a very fitting name, because if you're drinking Bud Light, you're in a very low place. The bar is still under construction, and an opening date hasn't been announced yet. But Garth has spoken in the past about how he wants his bar to be the Chick-fil-A of honky tonk. Garth Brooks says, that's what it's about, right? So I want a safe place that's just safe, that feels good. Okay, well, you can also share your fans' values, what your fans want, and that is a place that doesn't support the woke agenda that the left is pushing. A couple of Garth's colleagues with their own Nashville bar have jumped into the controversy, with John Rich announcing that he would be pulling Bud Light from his Broadway bar. That's somebody who understands what his fan base wants and the values that his fan base represent. And Kid Rock famously taking aim at cases of Bud Light with a pew-pew in a now viral video posted to social media. But Garth revealed today he has no intention of following their lead. He said, yes, we're going to serve every brand of beer. We just are. It's not our decision to make. What do you mean it's not your decision to make? Whose decision is it? It's your bar. I know exactly what happened here. Now, this is just my opinion. It's pretty obvious to me that Anhueser Busch went to Garth Brooks and his team and said, hey, put our products in your establishment and we'll cut you a fat check. Garth Brooks' eyes lit up with greed. He said, yeah, I'll flip the middle finger to my fan base and I'll sell your products. Just make sure that check is fat. He said, if you come into this house, love one another. If you're an a-hole, there are plenty of other places on Lower Broadway. He's telling his fan base, you have to push this woke agenda if you want to sit in my establishment, and you better sip on a Bud Light. You better sip on that woke horse piss. Well, Garth, I think you're going to learn a lesson here. I think this is going to be a teaching moment for you. I'm pretty sure your establishment is going to find out really quick what consumers feel and what they think about Bud Light. Nobody's drinking the product, Garth. Nobody's drinking Bud Light because it is woke piss water. Well, Garth, supporting a brand that shamelessly engages in virtue signaling is your choice to make, and it's unlikely to bring you any benefits. I completely agree. Fellow country musician John Rich weighed in on this news. John Rich has famously been opposition to the woke agenda. He says Garth Brooks has always been the guy that has said, everybody come to my show. It's something that we love about Garth. You know, he makes his music for everybody. And that really is what music is about. You're making music for everybody beers for everybody too. I agree, but you don't have to buy everybody's product. You don't have to buy Anhueser Busch's product. And it's not being an a-hole to buy products that align with your values. That's not being an a-hole. That's having conviction in your values. That's what being an American is all about. John Rich goes on to say, if Garth is serving Bud Light in his bar, that's fine. Garth can do that. Garth might find out not many people are going to order it, he explained. And at the end of the day, you have to put things in your establishment that people are going to purchase if you're going to run a successful business. So he may find that out. Yeah, Garth messed around, and now it's time he found out. I think he's going to have a very tough time getting people to visit his bar. If people find out what Garth Brooks has said about those who are boycotting Bud Light, nobody's going to go to his establishment. Nobody's going to be sitting in that bar and drinking that woke beer. His woke bar and his woke beer are going to find out the hard way because Bud Light is taking a giant hit. There's no other way to describe it. Bud Light is in big trouble. Bud Light is running out of time and could lose its market share forever. Brand will lose retail shelf space to Miller and Coors if they cannot reverse plunging sales, warns ex-Anheuser Busch executive. If you lose the consumer base, that's bad. You lose some money. It's a blip in the radar. You can maybe win those customers back, and if you do, you save the business. But if you lose the shelf space, it's game over because there's no way to win the customers back. Remember the Anheuser Busch executives, the CEO told us, oh, this is going to be a small little blip. We'll get these customers to come back by putting out patriotic advertisements over the summer. Well, that didn't work, and it's getting worse by the day. Now you're losing the shelf space, and it's game over. This is Anton Fredericks, the former Bud Light Anheuser Busch executive. He says, if Bud Light sales continue to slump, that shelf space will be allocated to Miller Lite, Coors Light, Yuengling, and some other brands that have taken share from them. Once you lose the shelf space in gas stations, Walmart, grocery stores, package stores, it's game over. They're going to sell products that actually move. They're not going to sell your piss water if it's just rotting on the shelves and expiring. Why would they do that? Why would they put those products on the shelves? So once your product is off the shelves, there's no way to recover. There is literally no way to recover. He goes on to say those brands will have a better likelihood to succeed long term because they have more shelf space, they have more inventory, they have more backstock, and they have more availability for consumers. All right, this is the key point right here. That almost permanently then locks in this as the new norm of where their sales will be and what their share of the beer category will be. Fredericks predicts of the impact on Bud Light. This is somebody who has worked in the beer industry for decades. This is somebody who was a former executive at Anheuser Busch saying this is locking in their position in the industry. It is a bad look for Bud Light. This is a brand that is dying. This is a brand that can only survive if Anheuser Busch sells it to an American company. That is their only way out, to sell it to an American company. Let me know in the comments what you think about Garth Brooks flipping the bird to his fan base and those who are standing up for their values. Hit that like button. It really helps spread the message and helps to put the gas pedal to the metal with this Bud Light boycott. I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until next time, peace.